Most of us have this idea that excellence is something you're born with, or maybe it's that one big, brilliant moment that changes everything. But what if that's completely wrong? Today, we're going to break down the real formula for achieving lasting success. And it's a formula built not in the single day, but in the small choices you make every single day. So let's dive in. This quote really just cuts right to the heart of it, doesn't it? Excellence isn't some trophy you win one time. It's the lifestyle you lead. It's about all those quiet decisions, the consistent habits, and the standards you hold yourself to when absolutely no one is watching. All right, so the very first thing we have to do is just completely redefine what excellence even means. Way too many of us have been taught to chase the wrong things, believing that success just kind of happens to the lucky few. I love this breakdown because it's so clear. We're always told it's about talent, right? Or luck, or waiting for that one big moment. But the truth? It's so much simpler and honestly, so much more powerful. Real, lasting success is built on your daily habits, those quiet little decisions, and just consistent day in, day out effort. And this is a huge one. Please let this one sink in. The goal is not to be flawless. It's not about getting it right every single time. It's simply about showing up and giving your best effort again and again. That mindset shift right there, that's the real difference between being average and being truly great. Okay, so if excellence is all about that daily action, what's powering it? Well, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not motivation. Come on, you know motivation comes and goes. The real engine, the thing that powers a life of excellence, is something way more reliable: discipline. This comparison just hits the nail on the head. Think about it. How often do you find yourself waiting to feel inspired? We wait for motivation to strike us like lightning. But the highest performers, they don't wait for anything. They build. They run on discipline because it's reliable, it's permanent, and it's something you actively create for yourself every single day. Seriously, think of it just like a muscle. Every single time you follow through on a promise you made to yourself, no matter how small, you're doing a rep. You're making that muscle stronger. And every time you make an excuse or let yourself off the hook, you're letting it get weaker. It is not some trait you're born with. It's a skill you develop. So that's the million-dollar question, right? If discipline is a muscle, what's the workout plan? How do you actually go from relying on these unpredictable feelings to operating with reliable, rock-solid commitment? Well, the good news is there's a really clear, practical roadmap for this. It's not about 100 different rules or some complicated system. It really boils down to 3 core habits that, when you practice them daily, create the foundation for excellence in literally everything you do. So here they are, the 3 pillars, and each one builds on the last. It starts with mastering your mornings to set the tone for the day. Then you use that to build relentless consistency to create momentum. And finally, you maintain high personal standards to guide all your actions. Let's really dig into each one. Okay, habit number 1, mastering your mornings. This is all about taking control right from the get-go. I mean, if you begin your day with discipline and purpose, those qualities are going to carry through into everything else you do. But if you start in a reactive state, hitting snooze, scrolling on your phone, you're just setting yourself up for distraction and procrastination all day long. So how do you actually win the morning? Simple. You wake up on purpose. The second that alarm rings, you're up. No hesitation. Hitting that snooze button literally trains your brain to break promises to yourself. Next, create a simple routine to get your mind and body ready. And here's the most important part. You do it whether you feel like it or not. The discipline you show in that first hour, it ripples through your entire day. All right, moving on to the second habit, and honestly, this one is the engine of all long-term success. Excellence isn't about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do day after day. The highest performers aren't the ones who go the hardest in these short, intense bursts. They're the ones who just keep showing up. So, how would we build it? The key is to make it easy on yourself. You create systems so you don't have to rely on willpower. If you want to write a book, don't focus on the book. Just focus on writing one single page today. You lower the barrier to entry so low that you can't possibly say no. See, the goal isn't some heroic one-time effort. It's just don't break the chain. And hey, if you do miss a day, don't panic. The rule is simple: never miss twice. Get right back on track the very next day. It's all about momentum, not perfection. And that brings us to our third and final habit. This is what separates the elite from everybody else. Think about that line. You get what you tolerate. If you tolerate mediocrity from yourself, well, that's what you're going to get. But if you demand excellence, your life will have no choice but to rise up to meet that demand. Your personal standards are the invisible force shaping your entire reality. So, to put this into practice, first things first, you gotta define your non negotiables. What's the baseline that you will never, ever drop below? Second, refuse to cut corners, especially when no one's watching, because that's the real test of your character, isn't it? And finally, surround yourself with other people who operate at a high level. Excellence is contagious. A high standard environment will pull you up automatically. So, when you boil it all down, it really comes to this. Excellence isn't some destination you arrive at or some prize you win. It's something you actively create with the choices you make moment by moment, day by day. And here's the best part. You don't need some massive grand plan to get started. The entire journey, everything we've talked about, it all begins with just one better decision. That's it. It could be the choice to get up without hitting snooze tomorrow, or to do a 10-minute workout, or to just hold yourself to a slightly higher standard on the very next thing you do. And this, right here, might be the most powerful idea of all. Every choice you make isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become. With every small act of discipline, you're not just completing a task. You are casting a vote for the type of person you want to be. You're literally building the identity of someone who follows through no matter what. So you see, the question was never really about your talent, your luck, or your circumstances. It's about the decision you make right now and the one you're going to make tomorrow morning. Excellence is a choice that you get to make over and over again. So what will you choose?